Well, I found a place to charge. At least I wish I could charge here, but not when it's a solar-powered cannonball run. I gotta do it a different way, the slow way. In fact, this might be my most ambitious trip yet. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but we'll see how far I can get. All right, here goes. I'm at 98%. My auxiliary battery in the back is totally full, and I'm gonna try and go 382 miles. And the car says I'll get there at negative 33%. So I might be pushing it a little too far this time. We'll see. All right, I'm behind this truck. They are going 65. Speed limit is 75. Truck speed limit is 70. This is as close as the autopilot will let you go. So it shouldn't be too close to annoy the truck driver. And maybe I'm getting a little drafting, although I'm not sure this far back. But I will let it go for a bit and see what my consumption is. Well, if it can stay like this, I'll be good. 201 watt hours per mile. And I'm going 65 behind this truck. This is the last 5 miles. I think I'll hang out here as long as I can. Well, I lost the semi that was going real slow, so I'm still going 65. But I'm kind of going around Little Rock, so I've had a lot of elevation changes and stuff like that. So I was at around 205 watt hours per mile, but now it's at 244. But who knows with all these elevation changes, so we'll see. Maybe I found another slow semi to hide behind. Looks like he's going 60 miles an hour. Speed limit 65. It's getting kind of cold, 51 outside, and I'm running the heated seat and the heated steering wheel, but no HVAC. So my fingers and toes are getting a little cold, but I'll survive. All right, it doesn't look like I'm going to make it. I'm averaging 218 watt hours per mile, which normally is pretty good, considering that would get me 344 miles. However, the temperature outside is 42 degrees, and there's a lot of rolling hills. And I'm going up in elevation. So all that considered, 218 watt hours per mile is really good, but not good enough. I was trying to go 382 miles. And that's definitely not going to happen. Even if I dump my auxiliary battery back into the car for another 4 kilowatt hours, still not going to get there. And I can't afford to get to a site and have the battery. I mean, in theory, I could just barely make it. If you consider the Tesla's got 75 kilowatt hour, but they supposedly have an extra 5 in reserve, so it's got 80,000 plus the 4 I could add in my battery. I could make it, but it would be right on the hairy edge. And the last thing I want to do is put up the car completely dead. And then just the normal drain of the system and the battery, it could drop below its critical cutoff voltage, at which point the whole car would go dead. And I would risk damaging the battery in the car. About the worst thing you can do is completely drain it. They tend to expand as they are drained. And if you get too low voltage on the cells, they can be permanently damaged. And then it'd be a new battery pack. I'm not going to risk that. So I'm going to call it early. I've got a stop maybe 100 miles up that I can hit. And I'll just spend the day there charging and then continue on. So it's kind of a bummer just to be short about 30 miles of the destination. But I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to burn a day. Don't want to do it, but that's how it is. Sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can't. You got to know when to call it quit and be safe. So I'm going to call it quit and be safe. In fact, maybe I'll even turn the heater on here and speed up a little bit and drive in luxury. Nothing like a heater. All right, later. Well, I got my interim stop. I had a campsite planned out, but they didn't open up till I think 7 or 8 in the morning. So I hit a hotel, and the plan was to drive in the morning. And as I was at the hotel, I saw a nice spot, talked to the people, and says, hey, can I throw some panels out in the back and charge my car? They're like, well, you're staying here, right? Yeah, sure, go ahead. So I set up my panels and started charging. And while I was there, I saw this. A school bus was charging. but man, was he charging slow. I guess they haven't installed the chargers yet at the bus station, so he had to use these public chargers, and I think it was only charging at like 50 kilowatt, which when you consider the size of the bus, that's pretty slow. You know, the Tesla will do 250, so pretty limited, but it was kind of cool to see another electric vehicle there charging. And after I said goodbye and packed everything up, it was time to hit the road again. It went pretty quick because I had just thrown the panels out on the ground, which only takes about 45 minutes to pack up. So I hit the road in no time, and I was off to my uncle's house.